Hi, my name is Marnie. If you are new to this channel and you have no idea who I am sitting here talking to you, I have a YouTube channel mostly talking about frivolous things like makeup and clothes, but sometimes not so frivolous things like hypothyroidism and perimenopause, I'm not in menopause yet, and empty nesting because I'm the mother of two sons in college, both of whom currently attend the same university, a freshman and a senior at the University of Mississippi. And since they're both there and I have a freshman, I'm now an empty nester. So I've been an empty nester now officially since, I guess, mid-August. And I thought now would be a really good time to catch up, let you know how it's been going now that I've gone through a full semester of it, lived through winter break, and gotten back to our regular routine. Now I know this isn't going to apply, this topic, to everyone watching, but even if you are not an empty nester, I still think you should stick around and listen, because you might be going through a stage in your life where you're looking to find new friends or you want to make some changes. And so I think this could apply to just about anybody in any stage of life. But obviously, if you are in the middle of your life, and I am in my midlife because I will be 47 in 2 months and well, less than 2 months now. And it is what it is. Unless I'm going to live a lot past 94, I am in the middle of my life. And I want to put a face to that because growing up, when you hear midlife, you think really end of life in your head. When you're in your 20s and 30s even, you kind of think midlife means the end. But I am here to tell you, it is in fact not. And spoiler alert, I'm just at the beginning of this stage, but it is really freaking fun. Not all the time. There's no such thing as high all the time. Otherwise, it'd just be manic. But the positives so far have far outweighed any little negative blip. I am aware that my situation is kind of different than most because one, I work for myself. I work from home. I call my own hours. So I understand that's very unique and I am really lucky to have that situation. And secondly, that my husband, who is also my best friend, happens to be at home with me. So I think that's part of where many of us struggle when we become empty nesters is you are truly in an empty nest. If you have been used to being a full-time stay-at-home mom, suddenly your job is taken away from you. You are a stay-at-home mom, but your job to take care of children is over. The children are gone. And there's no one at home with you all day. So for many full-time moms, that transition is a real difficult transition. For the first time in our marriage, my husband, his name is Michael, if you don't know, Michael and I really get to have fun. Like our time is finally our own. And I say finally, not that we were eager to get rid of our children. In fact, I was dreading this August. I really and truly felt that when the boys left, I was going to come home and curl up in the fetal position and just be devastated because my whole life had been tied up and focused on the kids. We got pregnant 3 months into our marriage. So I have been a mom our entire marriage, a stay-at-home mom focused on the kids. That was my primary focus our entire marriage and what I identified as first and foremost. And everything else was sort of secondary. And most of my activities revolved around or related to in some way the kids. So I thought really I was being optimistic and projecting this thing here on YouTube like it's gonna be great and I've got these plans and I was really hoping that's how it was gonna go, but this little voice inside me saying, oh my gosh, you are gonna fall apart when they leave. I'm here to tell you that did not happen. Here's why I think it didn't happen. Number one, obviously, like I said, the unique situation. My support system is actually in the other room sitting over there. I wasn't alone. I think that makes a huge difference. But number two, it was my mindset. And that's why I started this video by saying, even if you are not in my exact situation, if you are not in the middle of your life, if you are not an empty nester, I think that having a certain mindset about something truly affects not just the outcome, but how you are going to react going forward. That's not to say you put on a Pollyanna attitude and sort of the Scarlett O'Hara sort of like, oh, tomorrow is another day. No, but your attitude truly affects how you react to anything that comes your way. You decide, is it gonna be a good day or is it gonna be a bad day? You cannot control what goes on around you, but you can control how you react to it. And I have tried to make that sort of my attitude in life, my entire life. And so far it's worked. And I'm halfway through and it's working out. So the positive attitude has definitely helped. Having specific goals, short-term and long-term, also really helped. So one goal that I talked about actually in preparing for the empty nest, I think I made that in December of 2018. It should have popped up by now. I'll put it in the description box, was that I was going to clean out every cabinet, every cupboard, every drawer, every closet in this house over the course of the school year before they came home in the summer. Well, I better get busy because it's February. They're going to be home in mid-May. And have I done a single one? Yes, I've cleaned out kitchen drawers and the pantry and the refrigerator and the freezer. Like seriously deep cleaned. I found things in the freezer. I swear I've kept up with the freezer. And yet I found things in there from 2011. I don't know how these happen. I think people come back in the middle of the night and put things back that I swear I threw out. The big deep clean of the full house, has that happened? No, it has not. Have I learned any of the new skills I thought I was gonna learn? No, but I have. That's not true. I believe that one of my goals was I wanted to learn more about editing and graphics and things like that. And if you've watched my last few videos, you may have noticed a few new little tweaks and things. I have been learning some things. I've learned some things, not so much about editing photos, like I'm not using filters and things like that on Instagram. I'm really not a fan of photoshopping facial features and things like that. But as far as lighting and exposure, saturation, just so you can see better the photo, I have been learning a little bit more about that kind of thing, some editing techniques, so that has kept me busy. I did say we were going to travel more, and we have. We were gone almost the entire month of October. No, half the month of October. We've been to Vermont. We've been a few times to Mississippi. I know that may not seem like a very exciting travel spot for some of you, but I like it. We did a staycation here in San Antonio at La Cantera. That was not sponsored. We did a road trip. We were in Mississippi and then road tripped up to St. Louis for a few days, stayed at the Ritz-Carlton in a suite. That was also not sponsored. That was kind of like a bucket list I've never stayed at a Ritz-Carlton. I've always wanted to stay at a Ritz-Carlton. It was worth the wait. And that was actually kind of just a little, this means nothing to any of you, but Michael went to law school in St. Louis, and obviously we were grad students. We had no money back then, and it was kind of like a dream. Like one day we're going to come back and we're going to stay here. And it took 30 years, but we did. So that was really fun. We have a trip this month to Savannah. I feel like I always have to say not sponsored because I get asked. Oh, I did go on a little trip with 6 of us, I think it was. Other influencers, bloggers, social media people. I don't know what you want to call us, but some of us are YouTubers, some of us are bloggers. Also not sponsored. We all met up in Houston. That was a lot of fun. So we've been doing a lot, and we have 2 trips in April planned, back to Mississippi in May to watch our oldest son graduate. Kind of exciting. Anyway, so we've been moving around a lot. Oh, we also already have a trip for September planned to Dove Mountain. I think that's what it's called, in Tucson. Is that also Ritz-Carlton? I think it is. Yes. Hey, Ritz-Carlton. I'm making up for lost time. We haven't gotten as involved in the volunteering with our synagogue and other local charitable organizations as we would like. Some of that is because it seems like we're always going somewhere every month. We started, it's not to say that we don't, but I just thought we would ramp it up a little bit more this year, but it's only been a few months. So I'm sure it will continue. We will continue to get more involved as the years go on. My point being, that's sort of like what I have been up to. Now, as far as the stuff that I think is important to note and what I have come to realize. So my husband Michael and I will be married 23 years this June. And we started having kids right away. Like I said, I got pregnant 3 months into our marriage, and our first was born just a few days before our first anniversary. So we started this parenting thing fast. So this has been the first time it's really just been the 2 of us ever with me not pregnant. Anyway, I have to say at this point, I think why we're having so much fun is being an empty nester is like being a newlywed, except now you have a better budget. At least we do. Because we were married, so I was 24 and he was 26, and we were just getting started working, so we had nothing. It's nice to be married, like I said, to your best friend, who I personally find extremely attractive, and now we get to do stuff. We aren't bound by school schedules and when the kids are off, as far as when we want to travel, when we want to go out to dinner. The other night, we decided to do a date night on a Monday, went to the movies, had dinner. There was nobody there. It was amazing. In fact, we rarely go out on a Friday or Saturday night because it's busy and crowded, and who wants to do that when you can go out on a Wednesday afternoon? We've had fun exploring our own city and playing tourists, and my point is, being an empty nester is way more fun than I thought. In fact, the hardest adjustment period has been when the kids came back for winter break, especially. Thanksgiving is quick. They're in, they're out. It's a week, they're gone. You're so excited to see the kids for really the first time at home, at least for us, because they go to school out of state, that Thanksgiving is just a blip. But winter break, for us, 7 weeks they were home. And by like week 3, yeah, they could have gone. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's always nice to have them home. But, if Michael and I want to have cereal for dinner, we have cereal for dinner. But when the kids were home, I felt this obligation, like I needed to make dinner every night. I needed to make it nice. When I go to bed at night, the house is clean. Everything is put away. Everything is the way I like it. And when I wake up in the morning, it's exactly the way I left it. But when the boys come home and all their friends are here and the kids are coming in and out and boys are sleeping over, and that's all great. I love that part. And yet at the same time, it's like a fraternity house, and you wake up in the morning and there's 16 pairs of shoes in the foyer, and there's the remnants of the 2 a.m. snack raid in the kitchen and dirty dishes, and yes, they're going to clean it up, whatever. It's not a big deal, and it's wonderful, like you said, to have everybody back. I missed that part, but at the same time, I really liked having a clean house and a quiet house, and it made my heart happy to have all the boys and their friends here. And then the other part of me was like, I want my quiet, clean house back. It's a weird, until you've lived it, it's a very strange dichotomy that you miss the full house and the laughter and the noise, and at the same time, you don't want it. So just something to know that that's happening. Just a few helpful tips, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. I think it does help to have some structure to your day, especially if you were used to having your day sort of revolve around a school schedule. You're gonna have to shift that and have some other kind of structure, whether it's finding some sort of volunteer position or a job of some sort of focus to your day that does not involve your children. And I highly suggest you start putting that into place before the kids leave. So it's a more seamless transition. Whatever that is, however you choose to focus your hours during the day, I highly recommend starting to put that in place long before the kids leave. Get your mindset in a positive way. This is how life is supposed to go. Your children are not supposed to live with you forever. This is the sign of a successful parent, is to raise them to leave the nest. It is not, society does not look well on us if our children are still living at home in their 30s. So, job well done if they've gone, right? Even if we kind of still want them upstairs in the bunk bed with their wives. I do remember Jake telling me when he was like 3 or 4, probably 4, that he was going to get married and his wife was going to sleep in the bunk bed. She could have the upper bunk bed, but they were going to live here because we had the better toys. And I was like, that sounds like a great plan. But no, really, that's probably not a good thing. So if you've gotten them to the point where they've left, congratulations, you did your job. Now it's your turn to enjoy your life. This is the next stage, and we should enjoy every stage, just like we enjoyed every stage of their growing up. I loved it when they were babies, but I also loved when they were toddlers and preschoolers and elementary and up. I even enjoyed when they were teenagers. I still have one, kind of still enjoying it. I'm kidding. But that's kind of where I'm going with this. I hope this doesn't sound preachy. I hope this doesn't sound like I know how this works. I'm just going through this you know, like anybody else. It's just things that I'm sort of picking up as I'm going along that I found are helpful for me. I'm hoping it's helpful for someone else. Obviously, I've also learned things from girlfriends and subscribers here that have passed their wisdom onto me, and I feel like anything I can share that might help somebody else who's having a rough time, I hope it reaches that person. You just never know who's listening or watching, because it will always stick with me. It just tears me up. One of my friends said to me when she became an empty nester, she said it was tearing her apart because she felt like she was getting laid off from the best job she'd ever had, and she didn't want to leave the job. And she's having a blast now, but it was just the anticipation of basically getting fired was killing her. That's why I'm making this video, for anyone who is the mother of a high school senior and dreading this coming August. I'm here to tell you it will be okay. Now, midlife, mid to late 40s, that's a whole different situation, whether you're an empty nester or not. Still haven't nailed the sleeping through the night thing, but according to, I think, Time Magazine, none of us are, so at least we're all in the same boat. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know if you want more videos like this. Give me some topics if you have something specific, and if you have any insight or support that you want to offer each other, keep this conversation going in the comments below. This is a community. It is not just me talking at you. We are talking amongst ourselves. So keep it up down there. Let's support each other, and I will see you in the next video, which will be about something frivolous like clothes or makeup, I promise. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.